Hey there everyone, welcome to my channel. And yeah, today I'm back in Linux again for more 86 box fun. And this time we're going to be trying out 86 box for ARM, which honestly performs quite nicely. I'm very surprised. So specs wise, we're running the Oracle Cloud virtual machine, the free instance with 24 gigabytes of RAM, 4 cores. And we're running build 3567, came out today for 86 box in the pipeline, the debug version. And we're going to be running a 4086 clocked 120 megahertz, basically, just to gauge the performance, run a couple benchmarks, see what's capable of, just for the sake of it. Because, I mean, it's a free instance that you can get with just a valid credit card, and it doesn't really charge you. It's free forever. I mean, it's kind of hard to get, all things considered. I mean, but once you get the instance, through all means necessary, it is really worth it. And the fact that it can now have a portable emulation machine that you can just, you can load it up anywhere as long as you have the VNC client available, your phone, whatever you use works. And the fact that we can do that now, it's insane, and it runs a lot better than I imagined, because it doesn't run impressively on a Pi, for instance. So yes, well, it's probably not going to run very well on the Oracle ARM as well, but it does run decently enough, and it does allow for a lot of fun with a little tiny twist, with a little tiny problem, which is going to be fixed eventually, but it's not fixed as of yet, which is the issues with the mouse cursor, which is a little too fast, a little hard to control. It's not very usable at all. I mean, if you want to run Windows 95, Windows 98, it's not going to be fun. The cursor is all over the place. So for that, it's not really very usable as of yet, but it's going to be fixed. I gotta remember that it's under development, it's being worked on every day, new builds, like very often. So that's gonna be fixed eventually. Often enough, we're gonna get a patch that's gonna fix it. One can hope. But for now, it's mainly just for DOS. I mean, if you run that natively, if you have an ARM machine, that's not gonna be an issue. I mean, this problem is specific to VNC only. So you're not going to have this issue if you're running it natively. If you have a Pi or anything, 86 box for ARM, it's going to perform perfectly. You're not going to have this sort of issue. It's just a VNC problem, specifically VNC related. But anyway, let's launch 86 box. I'm going to walk you guys through the settings that were chosen. So we have a socket tree for 86, AMD for 86 DX4, 120 megahertz, 16 megabytes of RAM. We got a Sanglab ZT4000. We got BuzzMouse, which we cannot really use, as I described. We do have a bit of an issue with the cursor. It's going to be fixed. Sound Blaster network. We got nothing. Storage controller, all internal. IDE drive, just half a gigabyte. And floppies and stuff and CD-ROM doesn't really matter, but that's basically what we're running specs wise for this machine. But the point is, how does it perform? We have HTOP here so that we can take a look at the CPU usage as we run the benchmarks and stuff. As you can tell, for now we're getting 100% emulation speed, which is very good. I mean, it's ARM. Running a 46, 120 megahertz is quite impressive. You can look at the cores right there. Time to run some benchmarks, shall we? I think it's DOS bench. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. Let's start with landmark first. It's L. There we go. Press a key to continue, and it's going to gauge our performance. Well, it says our computer performs like a 778 megahertz AT for 861 megahertz 8287. Okay, sure, yeah. I mean, obviously we're going a little overkill here because this landmark's from 93. But anyway, very nice. Very nice. I guess let's try the next benchmark. How do I quit this thing? Oh, great. Okay, so I did try Doom before because I wasn't sure if it was gonna run or not, so I decided to run it beforehand before recording, and it turns out it doesn't really run that decently, and it takes a long time. So I was like, you know what? Forget about it. Let's not do it. Oh, look, Core 1 is maxing out now. We're not 100% for some reason. We were 100%, then I ran a benchmark. Now it's not 100%. It's 7%, 70%. That's wonky. Now it's Core 3. It's bouncing around loads. I don't know what's going on anymore, honestly. But let's try top bench 3.8. It's gonna run and give us a score. Let's continue score benchmarking. Okay, let's see how that goes. Systems top bench score 74. I don't. It would be nice if we had something to compare the numbers, like other CPUs, other rigs, just so that we could get what does that 74 mean in the great scheme of things. I don't really know. Anyway, now we should try. Let's try PC player benchmark, maybe. PC player benchmark. Never tried that one. Oh my god, yeah, no. That's gonna be like terrible. I can tell from how slow it's running. Then again, I know it kind of forcing things out here because, I mean, Singlab, CT4000, 4086, it's too much for the poor ARM. Surprisingly, though, if you look at the CPU usage, it's quite low. The RAM usage as well, quite low. It's using 1.68 out of 24, which honestly is not bad whatsoever. Very decent numbers. Player bench 16.9, 320, 200. Oh my god, and not very decent, honestly. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say the ARM is at fault. I could try and use a somewhat stronger CPU and card combo, see whether it can actually withstand the load. I don't think so, honestly. I think this 486 is already a lot on its plate. But it doesn't hurt to try, honestly. It really does not hurt to give it a go. Anyway, let's try. Did I try speed sys? No, I didn't. Did I? Several tests cannot be performed. If from it's from Russia. Nice. From Russia with love. Okay. So it's looking up stuff we got, and now it's testing the CPU power. It's going to give us metrics, comparison metrics. So we are right on point with this. See, this 5x86-133. So about on par with it, which is good. It is 120 megahertz. Speed is correct currently, so the emulation is matching, which is a good thing. It's very important. We have is parity. Very, very important. Now it's testing the hard drive, which I assume is not going to be very impressive, but what do I know? But yeah, so far so good. 126, 20 megahertz. Standard hard drive speed, nothing out of this world, but still. Okay, I'll take it. Definitely take it. Yeah, let's try something else now. We tried the drive, the CPU, pretty good stuff right there. Also, wow, the memory bandwidth, pretty decent. All right, so let's quit. I think it says we can create report files. That's pretty cool. Let's try. C, enter. Okay. So reports are ready. Continue. Okay, so can we quit now? I want to quit. No, I want to quit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we did try top bench. We did try landmark SPIDSys. We didn't try system information. Oh my, look at this. This is great. Next. Okay, so we have IBM AT are compatible, blah, 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 486, 20 megahertz. Okay, that checks out. Yeah, the video memory does check out apparently. It's saying labs. Is that so? Okay, so we have the hard drive interrupts, 0, just type, it's pretty cool though. For back in the day, it's quite impressive. We got lots of disk info, memory summary. Extended memory, wowzers, memory blocks, programs, device drivers, CPU speed benchmark. We're beating the Pentium 66. I mean, obviously. Edit 386. Now it's going to benchmark our disk. Let's see what we got there. You can see the loads still 100% there. Oh, it's maxing out. It's maxing out. Wow, look at that. We're beating the Western Digital AC2340, whatever that means. We're beating this. Wow, the rig is pretty decent on 7.3, better than 66 with the Western Digital. Pretty good stuff. And then it can save us. Oh, it's different fixes. Okay, all good. How do we quit? Alt file quit. Yeah. Okay, so now PC player benchmark was a big fail. So we could go with the 3D bench 1.0 because it's meant for slower PCs. I think that's a very fair way to describe this PC right now. It's not very fast. So let's try this. Superscape. Wow, VGA benchmark 1.0. Oh my god, that's cool. Ooh la la, look at that. Oh yeah, baby. It's the future. Look at the loads though. It's copying pretty well. I do assume we can maybe push it a little harder with something faster. Just a wee bit faster, perhaps. But I do. Maybe a different graphics card. I wonder bottlenecking. It would be nice if we had a sort of MSI firmware so that we could look at the loads, the GPU loads and the CPU loads, that we could tell whether it's a bottleneck or not. Because I cannot really tell, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try load something a little better, like at S3 or something like that, and see what happens. If we get better numbers or if the figures remain the same. Well, honestly, I'm not. I'm very very happy with the numbers so far. 43.4 is not bad, and the fact that like it's actually somewhat. I mean, it doesn't really hurt the eyes. It's not very laggy considering it's VLC. Very nice. VNC, I mean not VLC. Jesus, sorry. Considering it's VNC, it's not bad at all. It's almost like native connected via HDMI. It's almost no delay there, pretty much. Okay, it's about time we change the video. So display, let's go and where's the S3? Yeah, let's go with that. It's probably not gonna work, but what do I know? See the loads. Now that we emulating something faster, I mean, I do think it's faster. I'm not really sure, actually. Should have done research, but still, DOS bench. Let's see. There's only one way to know. Let's run the benchmark for slower PCs again. That one was 40 something. Let's see now. What do we get? Oh boy. It seems. What the hell? 83.3. Look at that. Okay, that's much faster. It's still 100%. So we got twice as much now, which means perhaps we could go with Quake time demo. Oh, we could try Doom. Yeah, let's try Doom instead. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Let's see what that. Oh my god, never mind. It's not really working, is it? It's very slow. Oh, I see. It's because it's tiny. It's minimum settings. 21, 34 game ticks and 44 for whatever that means, bro. I want numbers, frames. What the hell? Okay, let's try Quake again. Time demo. Yeah, this one is gonna probably take an eternity again. It's quite demanding, but oh my god. I mean, it's not 4 FPS anymore, it's for sure, but it's not 30 FPS either. It's like, what, 10 FPS? 11, 12 FPS from the looks of it. The usage is pretty decent though. So maybe it's not really the emulation being at fault here. It's just the rig itself that's not powerful enough for this. Because if you look at the figures there on the H top, you can tell it's not really asking much from the CPU. It's just vibing, you know? So, yeah, I'm confused. But yeah, it's running better, for sure. So it was definitely a graphics card bottleneck more than anything. Actually, I want to try something wild and go with a Voodoo, maybe a 2000, just for the sake of it. I mean, it's not very realistic because it's a late 90s card and we go in with a mid 90s kind of setting here, but still. The point is just to kind of gauge how far the ARM can go. Ideally, it would be better with like Windows 95 or 98, but due to the cursor issues, it's not really something I can do. I mean, I could do it, but it would be so painful. It's so hard to click on stuff. Like it's it's just too much. I cannot cope with that. I tried. It wasn't fun. It wouldn't be fun to watch myself just fighting with the cursor all over the place, and it's just not as enjoyable as one would imagine. But once they fix it, I'm definitely gonna go and run like 3D Mark 99, something like that, to gauge performance even more. Maybe with a Pentium, who knows? Rather than 46. Yeah, maybe not even 10 FPS at this point. I'm guessing like 8, maybe 9. It's terrible. Still terrible. But the ARM is not really being used, so you can tell it's not a CPU bottleneck, I guess. Oh, we got what? 6.8. I was off. I was far off. I was saying 10 and then 8, then 9, but it was a 6.8 average. Almost 6.9, which would have been nice. Anyway, we quit that crap. Yeah, it's quite slow. You can see even like moving up and down here, it's just, it's a crawl. It's awful. Well, time to go with something stronger. See whether it can cope. I'm gonna change the CPU. Actually, I'm gonna change the whole thing. And see whether it does hold up or not. Okay, so socket 7. It's probably not gonna work. Being honest here, it's probably not gonna run. But I want to do it just for the memes. So Pentium 120 still. Let's keep it at 120 megahertz ballpark. Display still, yeah, we can still remain with that S3, see what that does, and then obviously the BIOS is gonna complain about the no hard drive. Okay, let's see if the auto detection works. Oh, it does work. That's great. Okay, so we just put the no drive in there. We save. And now we should be ready to benchmark. So 100% still. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, now it's dropping and we can tell 4.1 is working very hard. Now 90%, 87%. Yeah, it's a crawl. Okay, DOS bench. Let's see. What do we have here in terms of power? Wait time. Oh boy. Yeah, it's still, I mean, it seems faster. You can tell it's skipping through the benchmark like a lot faster. So maybe this time we don't have any sort of CPU bottleneck, because you can tell it's skipping a lot faster. It's going through it like very fast pace. And then obviously the whole skipping is because we are on VNC rather than, so it's not very convenient on that regard. But still, look at that. We do be really zooming. Yeah, I cannot really judge the frame rate because I don't know what's going on. I can tell it's going faster, it's for sure. So I don't know if like the VNC is just overwhelmed by all the frames that are being sent over, and it's just you know, kind of sturdy because of that. But it's going faster, so it's a sign that maybe we got more frames this time. What do I know? But you can tell CPU scoping still. I mean, 100% emulation speed. You can tell the load is a lot. If we doubled it, yeah, it's definitely better. Okay, let's try a different card this time around. CPU was not bottlenecking, so maybe we can push things even further. Let's try a Voodoo Banshee. No, let's try 2000. It doesn't really hurt. It's probably not gonna work this time around. It's too much. Oh boy, Voodoo 2000. Let's go, baby. 100%. 100%. Still 100%. Will it run? Alright, so DOS bench. Here we go. Quake time demo. Let's see. Oh boy. Look at that. Okay, that does seem faster. It's still laggy, but it's fat. Oh my god, yeah, that's a lot faster. The frame skipping is mad. Yeah, it's definitely VNC not being able to keep up with the whole thing. But still, 100% emulation speed, ARM scoping quite well. It could turn out to be a nice retro option. I mean, obviously not like not like the specific use case because it's a cloud instance. But I mean, if you have a good quad-core ARM local, not over the cloud or anything, it could be an option for retro gaming because you can see it's taking it like a champ. 100% still. I mean, yeah, cores are maxing out every now and then, which could be seen as a problem, and in a way it is a bit of a problem still. It's not very disruptive. It's working. We got 14.6, so 2 more FPS. Yeah, I don't know anymore. I'm gonna try something dumb and try and speed things up for faster CPU. It's probably not gonna work, but yeah, yes, I want to quit. Let's try. 120. It goes up to, well, that's not gonna work, I'm sure, but let's see. 100%. Oh yeah, look at that cores maxing out. It's going like crazy. 87, 85%, 96%, 89. I mean, yeah. Still, let's see. DOS bench. 57, 29%, 24. Yeah, I cannot cope. Look at that, 100%. Bottlenecking like mad. Is it gonna run? I mean, it's too much to ask. I would assume. I mean, it's a Voodoo 2000 and a P200. It's insane. Like, this is insane even for like 3700X, like my actual CPU. That would be too much for it, even, let alone an ARM CPU. But still, now I'm confused. It kind of gets close to 100%. I'm not really sure if the figure is accurate or not. The usage figures. I'm confused. The emulation speed. It hits 100%. I'm not really sure if it's actually 100%. Yeah, the CPU is not like entirely maxing out, which is a good sign, I guess. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be any better. Probably 50. Ooh, wow. Okay. 22 point. Is that? I think it's a tree, but still, wowzers. That was much better. That was like night and day in comparison. It's still laggy as hell. But wow, 22 FPS. I mean, compared to 14 and 12 and 8 and 6, that's like a lot better. Night and day. Wowzers. Okay. So I think that closes it. I mean, it was not, as far as speed goes, it was floating around like mad, but it was coping relatively well. I mean, it's ARM after all. That was very surprising. I'm very, very satisfied with the results. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different. I don't usually do that kind of stuff like benchmark, engaging performance and stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. And as usual, feedback's much appreciated. So if you guys have anything, don't be shy. Comment section is right below. I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully. Maybe with more 86 box stuff. Who knows? See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.